Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at GCNlive.com.
Greetings, friends, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado, registered pharmacist number 12275. I specialize in using nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and deadly medical procedures if you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your vitality and health and well-being, and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin. You have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That is why we are here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 28 years of practicing pharmacy, I've seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity and skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds. Recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system, the human body, is a healing system. It's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that healing, renewing, regenerating system a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, we are here for you. We welcome your calls on The Bright Side. 844-236-6010. is our number today and every day, 844-236-6010. If you have questions about the longevity products, formulations, the longevity business, if you want to get off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, if you've heard something on the news or radio you want clarified, and if you have questions about skincare products, we can help you, 844-236-6010. Likewise, if you have a success story you want to share, or if you just want to contribute to our conversation, 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll get your calls a little earlier. I'm going to try to get to calls on the second segment because our phone lines are blown up here the last couple of weeks. I hate leaving people on hold. Try to call in early so we can get to as many calls as possible at 844-236-6010. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear advertised on the program or recommended on the program, or if you want to join the Bright Side Ben team, make some money selling longevity products, help spread the word about the power and importance of a good nutritional supplement program, be a member of the longevity family, be a member of the longevity culture. And it is a family and it is a culture. I've been part of the family, if you will, for 17 or 18 years. I've watched the family grow, the longevity culture grow, and it grows because it makes sense. Using a good nutritional supplement program, using good nutritional supplements, knowing where you're getting your nutritional supplements from, learning about nutrition. This is all what we're about. This is what longevity is about, helping spread the word about how important it can be to be on a good nutritional supplement program. And a lot of folks are making some significant dinero doing it. If you're interested, it's all for a one-time $10 fee. Call the Bright Side Ben phone team, 866-735-2470. They can tell you all about it. You can order any products as well by calling 866-735-2470. Ask them about the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. If you haven't checked it out yet, find out what so many folks have been finding out over the last 17 years, and especially over the last couple of years as we've been really hitting the BTT hard, and as the Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 came out about a year and a half ago. Find out what everybody's finding out, how you can really have more energy and suppress your appetite, feel better, get off your prescription drugs, or at least wean yourself to lower doses on your prescription drugs simply by using one product, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, let alone getting on the Healthy Start Pack and using the Biolumin Nightly Essence and the Jordan Rubin Beyond Organic products. Anyway, call the phone team at 866-735-2470. They can tell you all about it. Or head over to brightsideben.com or pharmacistben.com, my blog, and click on the Join the Team link. Or you can also go to criticalhealthnews.com. That's my blog that I'm doing with George Norrie and a couple other folks as well, and that's criticalhealthnews.com. Okay, so we've been talking nitric oxide for the past few days as it relates to health. Pretty much all the tissues in the body use nitric oxide. It's a gas hormone. It's especially involved in brain health. It acts as a neurotransmitter, a brain chemical that helps convey messages. It's involved in helping the body or the brain handle stresses. In a way, it's similar to serotonin and dopamine in the sense that it helps convey protection from Emotional stresses, mental stresses, it's responsible, like these other chemicals, for providing a sense of well-being, a sense of positivity. These feel-good benefits, at least partially, come from the fact that nitric oxide increases blood flow to the brain, and that's always a good thing. If you're worried about dementias, Alzheimer's disease, or movement disorders that are brain-related, like Parkinson's disease, understanding nitric oxide and how to upregulate, increase nitric oxide levels is really, really important. We're going to talk about that here in a second, how you do it. But if you're dealing with movement disorders that are brain-related or any kind of brain health issues, you're going to want to take advantage of strategies for upregulating, for increasing nitric oxide production. Nitric oxide turns on chemistry in the circulatory system, veins and arteries, and the lymph. Nitric oxide allows all of the vessels of the veins and the arteries and the lymphatic vessels, it allows them to relax and dilate. That's always a good thing. More oxygen, more detoxification. If you have heart disease, heart failure, blockages, atherosclerosis, that's the technical term for hardening of the arteries. If you have any of these issues, it's likely that you're not making enough of this gas hormone. And if you have heart issues, any heart health issues, nitric oxide really can be your best friend. As we said yesterday, many drugs used to treat the heart, drugs like hydralazine and Iserdil and nitroglycerin, they prevent heart attacks or in some cases, in the case of nitroglycerin, they actually relieve the excruciating pain associated with angina. I'm telling you, angina is when your heart is dying and you're feeling it and you're awake feeling your heart dying. Can you imagine this? It's indescribable, as anybody who has angina will tell you. The pain is indescribable. Nitric oxide and nitroglycerin, Iserdil, hydralazine, these all work by upregulating nitric oxide, which opens up blood vessels, improves oxygen to the heart, detox, nutrient delivery to heart cells. Remember, all disease is cell disease, right? All disease, including heart disease, is cell disease. Heart disease is heart cell disease. And all cell disease, heart cell disease included, is rooted in a lack of nutrition, a lack of oxygen, and an accumulation of poisons, a lack of detox, a lack of detoxification. Nitric oxide, by its blood vessel opening effects, takes care of all that. Nitric oxide improves nutrition to the heart cells, and improves oxygenation to the heart cells, and improves detoxification from the heart cells. If you're stressed out, if you're feeling anxious, likewise, it's a good possibility you're not making enough nitric oxide. And this lack of nitric oxide, by the way, helps explain some of the detrimental effects we feel during periods of excessive stress, the jitteriness and the insomnia, and in some cases the flat-out pain that's associated with some of these stresses. Can be nitric oxide issues. By the way, lack of sleep can cause nitric oxide problems too, because while we're sleeping, we're making nitric oxide. So you get this downward spiral. Anxiety causes insomnia, less nitric oxide, more anxiety, more insomnia, less nitric oxide, etc. We see this downward spiral appear a lot of times in health, and it's important whenever you're running into this kind of issue where lack of nutrition causes problems, which causes more lack of nutrition, which causes problems, which causes more lack of nutrition. And whenever you run into this downward spiral, it's important to break it by getting good nutrition, by making sure you're deep breathing and making sure you're moving your body around to improve detox, or perhaps fasting to improve detox. So nitric oxide, key player in the brain, key player in the heart, key player in respiration. It's used as a prescription medicine for respiratory therapy for preemie babies, as well as for adults who have respiratory problems. There's a drug called Inamax. It's an inhaled nitrogen medicine, and it contains nitric oxide. And nitric oxide may be responsible for some of the cardiac benefits associated with exercise. It turns out when we exercise, we make nitric oxide. When we sleep, we make nitric oxide. When we relax, we make nitric oxide. When we exercise, we make nitric oxide. When we exercise, we actually make extra nitric oxide, and then that nitric oxide is stored in the heart. And then that nitric oxide that's stored in the heart can actually act as a reservoir, a storage depot that the body will use to open up blood vessels when the heart is stressed, when the heart is deprived of oxygen. How's that? How cool is that? We make our own heart medicine. This is just another example of how fantastic, how amazing our own biochemistry is. We make our own built-in anti-heart attack medicine. How cool is that? So clearly, nitric oxide is significant stuff. And making enough of it, having enough of it around is an important health strategy, and one that you don't need a doctor for. and one that you don't need a prescription drug for. There's ways to boost nitric oxide ourselves from the comfort of our own living rooms and kitchens, or perhaps in the case of exercise-induced upregulation in the gym. And I'll tell you about some of these strategies when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. We'll be back after this. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Steve Spillum for Midas Resources. In 1971, President Nixon took the United States off the gold standard and put us into a fiat currency. This allowed Congress and the Federal Reserve to create trillions of dollars out of thin air. The national debt has risen to incredible heights, and your hard-earned dollars by a small fraction of what they once did. The average life expectancy for a fiat currency is 27 years. The dollar is failing and on borrowed time. When currencies fall, people turn to gold and silver because gold and silver have been real money for more than 5,000 years. It is our mission at Midas Resources to help you preserve your capital. Don't let your personal savings shrink to nothing. For important free information on how you can protect your personal wealth, contact me, Steve Spillum, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 308. Call today while we are still accepting dollars for gold and silver. 1-800-686-2237, extension 308. Make a change in your financial security today. That's 1-800-686-2237, extension 308.
Hi, this is Sophie Winnick, longtime distributor and user of Longevity products. In the last few years, my family went through a crisis. Everything else in my life, including my business, had to be put on the back burner. Thankfully, life is getting back to normal now. But the one thing I never had to worry about was my business and my monthly commission. I've been a distributor for Longevity for over 17 years, since before it was Longevity. And I've got to say, the most amazing thing about this company is the people. While my family was in crisis, other distributors stepped in and helped my customers, simply because that's what Longevity people do, even for people they don't know. For me, it has never been about getting rich. It was about a product I could stand behind, a company I could count on, and a monthly commission check that has never, not once, been late in 17 years. Longevity is truly a business for everyone, even people who have too much to do. I'm Sophie Winnick. I'm just like you. I have a real life, real ups and downs, but I know I will always have Longevity.
Hey, guess what? They've got some great deals for Valentine's Day at Guns80.com. They're calling it the Sweetheart Special. Guns80.com has lowered the price way down to $400 up until Valentine's Day. Order your Ghost AR-15 now. Tell your sweetheart that this is the right gift at the right time. Buy one for yourself. Buy one for your sweetheart, too. Your sweetheart will thank you for being so tuned into his or her needs. Get a brand new Ghost AR-15 right now for $400. Heck, buy two. His and hers. Go to Guns80.com or call and ask for the Sweetheart Deal. Love is in the air at Guns80.com. Call now, 844-2GUNS80. That's 844-248-6780. It's a sweetheart of a deal. Actually, it's a steal at $400. So call Guns80.com at 844-2GUNS80. But hurry, supplies are limited. Call 844-2GUNS80 or get your Ghost AR-15 today at Guns80.com on the web.
What good is a Big Berkey water filter?
We get that question a lot here at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And in a word, the answer is protection. Protection from water main breaks, E. coli contamination, environmental chemical spills, pesticide runoff, chlorine taste and smell, and all forms of fluoride. Plus, Big Berkey water filters are the original gravity water filter system and most trusted on the market for a reason. Tested by multiple independent NSF EPA certified labs, they are the gold standard in water purification. At only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. That means big savings. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get a Big Berkey today at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. GCN listeners receive 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Visit our website or call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
We are America's largest independently owned communications network, GCN.
All right, we're back on the bright side. I am Pharmacist Ben, and we are on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific, 10 to 11 Central Time. We've got all the shows, all our 4+ year. It's going on 5 years worth of archives, I believe, at brightsideben.com. You can go to benfuchsarchives.com and search. Got all kinds of stuff on YouTube. By the way, if you're interested in checking out my YouTube videos with Amanda Rideout, skincare YouTube videos. Some of you know I'm in the skincare business. Got a new line of skincare products coming out here, by the way, in a couple of weeks. And anyway, if you want to check out some of our YouTube videos on skin health and acne, we've been covering the 7 different types of acne now for a couple of months. Just finished one up yesterday on menopausal acne. Send me an email, ben@ksco.com. We'll get you on the list, and you'll be notified every time a video posts. We post them all up on my Facebook page, thetruthwithben.com. Please, some of you guys are still sending me friend requests to my personal Facebook page with my mugshot picture from 10 years ago or 8 years ago. That's great. I don't have a problem with that, but I don't really post to that page. So if you're interested in checking out my posts and YouTube videos, etc., head over to The Truth with Ben. And that's my Facebook page. And that'll also have all my skincare stuff when my new line comes out here in a couple of weeks, and we'll be talking about that on this program and probably advertising as well. So you'll hear more about that in the coming weeks. Let's see. If you're interested in joining me in my our phone calls, or weekly phone calls, actually now monthly phone calls. We changed that to monthly phone calls with my friend Dixie Sedgwick. Please call every Sunday. You can call 605-562-3140. And join us on the phone calls, or you can call that number and then get actually it's a different number for the archives, and I don't know what that is, so I'll have to get that for you. But put in your calendar for the first Sunday in March 1st, we're going to be talking about the B complex of vitamins. Dial in number 605-562-3140. Okay, try to call in early if you have questions here at 844-236. We'll get your calls here in just a moment. If you're interested in up-regulating your nitric oxide, now that we've been talking about how amazing this stuff is, if you're interested in making more nitric oxide, there's lots of stuff that you can do. We talked about exercise. Exercise is very important. It's a great way to build up nitric oxide. If you're dealing with a degenerative health challenge, exercise, mild exercise, moderate exercise may be something that you'd want to explore. Listen, building nitric oxide is not difficult. It's really easy. In fact, considering how easy nitric oxide is to build and considering how important it is, in my opinion, you got to be crazy not to at least be thinking or exploring about some of these ideas, some of these strategies for upregulating the multifunctional and very relevant gas mist chemical. It's secreted out of all cells, nitric oxide. It's protective. It helps the body deal with emergencies, heart attacks, stresses, real or perceived or real, inflammation. It's important for respiration. In my opinion, you got to be crazy not to do whatever you can do to keep enough of it around. So mild exercise or even strenuous exercise, that's a great way to build nitric oxide. Rest, sleep, another great way to build nitric oxide. Caloric restriction, fasting, builds nitric oxide. How do you like that? Keeping your calories down, especially calories from sugar, is a great way to conserve nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is immediately secreted to help protect us from our food. That's kind of an interesting point right there. Like the body feels like it needs to be protected from food. Yeah, we need to eat, but it's not great. It's a stress on the body. That's why you want to eat as little as possible, and that's why you want to take days off from food. Yeah, we need to eat. I'm all about eating. I understand. I'm not a food Nazi. But a lot of times we eat when we don't have to eat. A lot of times we eat because we think we're hungry. A lot of times we eat because we're bored or depressed. You think lions in the wild eat because they're bored or depressed? The human body is not designed to be dealing with food over and over and over again. This idea of grazing, eating food all day long. Who came up with that nonsense? Anyway, the more you eat, the more nitric oxide is used up. The more sugar you eat, the more nitric oxide is used up. So less calories, more nutrition, better nitric oxide. Less calories, more nutrition. Of course, that means a good nutritional supplement program and nutrient density. High-calorie foods, high-calorie processed foods especially, are typically low nitrogen foods. Nitrogen is found in whole foods. Processed foods are low nitrogen foods. That means they're going to be low nitric oxide foods, and you're going to be using up your nitric oxide and not replacing it to help process foods, to help your body process these processed foods. Protein is the ultimate low-calorie, high-nitrogen food. That is what protein is by definition. It's a low-calorie, It's the lowest calorie of all foodstuffs, protein, fats, and carbohydrates. And it's high nitrogen. This is one of the benefits, one of the major benefits of the ketogenic diet, which is a moderate protein, moderate fat diet, or the so-called paleo diet. I hate that term, but it becomes such a marketing cliche. But the idea of more protein and less carbs is basically, nobody's saying this, but really it's a high nitrogen, low calorie diet, a nitric oxide diet. This is why, or at least one of the reasons why, when you eat less, you live longer. Caloric restriction means longer life. How amazing is that? We eat less, we live longer. We eat less, we reduce the load on our body. We eat less, we have less inflammation. We eat less, we save money. Who is it that wants us to eat so badly, aside from our minds and our habits and our conditions? Have you ever wondered, that saying, follow the money? Well, if you're wondering why we're encouraged to eat at every turn, follow the money, the empire of food that is built on us eating like animals, like pigs, not like humans. Humans aren't supposed to eat a lot of food. And then there is, in my opinion, what is the most interesting and fascinating and most controversial ways of upregulating nitric oxide, of supporting nitric oxide levels in the body, and that involves something called nitrates and nitrites. I've gotten a ton of emails about nitrates and nitrites because I've been telling you now for a couple of weeks or more that nitrates and nitrites are important. Nitrates and nitrites are two similar nitrogen-containing compounds that the body uses as raw materials for making nitric oxide. Nitric oxide in the body is derived from these things. It's derived from nitrates and nitrites, and these are some of the most important of all nutritional compounds that you can eat. In plants, for example, I would have to say nitrates and nitrites are right up there with any other phytonutrient that you can get from plants. Plants use nitrogen from the ground. They can't grow without nitrogen. They grow better with nitrogen. They make nitrites and nitrates, and nitrates and nitrites in the plants are some of the most important of all phytochemicals, even though you don't hear a lot about them. When was the last time you heard a nutritionist say, make sure you're eating your veggies so you get your nitrates and nitrites? You never hear people saying that yet. As it turns out, nitrates and nitrites that are found in plants, even though you don't hear a lot about them, they are at least partially responsible for the numerous anti-aging and general health benefits associated with eating vegetables and eating plant-based diets. Now, I'm not a vegetarian, and I've said many, many times that if you are a vegetarian, you're going to be depriving yourself of many important substances that are only found in dairy and eggs and meat and fish. So I'm not here to tell you only eat vegetables, but I am telling you want to eat lots of vegetables. Lots and lots of vegetables for a lot of reasons, and not the least important of which is the fact that these vegetables are sources of nitrates and nitrites. So what is it? It seems like if you've followed the news and been involved with health for the last 20 years or 30 years or so, you say, oh my God, I thought nitrates were bad. Well, that's just more simplicity and silliness that's spread by people who don't understand chemistry, especially by the mainstream medical model. Nitrates and nitrites are super important, but how did this happen? How did this confusion occur? All right, we'll probably continue this on our next Bright Side episode. Hang tight if you're on hold. We'll get to you when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network.
Did you know by age 50, half of all men have an enlarged prostate? This means more urges to urinate, longer bathroom trips, waking at night to urinate, or issues with sex. If this sounds familiar, call us now, because we're shipping free bottles of Super Beta Prostate to listeners of this station. Super Beta Prostate is a non-prescription formula guaranteed to reduce the symptoms of your enlarged prostate. It's yours free. Pay only shipping and handling. Just call 1-800-281-8583. In clinical trials, the ingredient in Super Beta Prostate was shown to reduce urges to urinate, improve bladder emptying, reduce waking at night to urinate, and improve quality of life. This Super Beta Prostate free offer is for listeners of this station, but it won't last. Don't wait. Just call 1-800-281-8583. That's 1-800-281-8583. Call 1-800-281-8583.
Worried about getting sick and feeling terrible for days or even weeks? You need Immudyne for a healthy immune system. Why get sick and bother with products that just don't work? For just $1 a day, Immudyne is all natural and safe for all lifestyles. Call 866-257-8668 to buy now before it's too late, before you get sick. Or go to IMMUDYNE.com, Immudyne.com, or call 866-257-8668.
Virtually anyone can hack your cell phone and track your calls, your texts, your emails, your every movement, but only if they can detect a signal. Stay one step ahead of hackers and Big Brother with a Block-It Pocket, a custom-made pocket infused with pure silver that creates a complete Faraday enclosure for your cell phone. For free shipping to the lower 48, visit blockitpocket.com or call 888-315-9618. Blockitpocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine, there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your commercial, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average over 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
The Freeze-Dry Guy presents freeze-dried turkey, freeze-dried ham, and the no-bake casserole unit February sale. Listen, if you trust the Freeze-Dry Guy, as thousands have for their emergency food supply since 1970, don't wait to hear how great this deal is, because it's unlimited supply. Call 866-404-3663 and ask for our new turkey and ham unit. Normal retail price $359.94. Sale price $251.94. You save $108. And it's chock full of high-quality, great-tasting freeze-dried diced turkey and ham from Mountain House, the gold standard in long-term storage products. Or get the Freeze-Dry Guy's no-bake casserole unit. 153 servings per case at normal retail price of $215.94. Sale price $172.75. You save $43.19. But supplies are limited, and we always pay shipping right to your door within the lower 48 states. Call 866-404-3663 and make FreezeDryGuy.com a favorite and check for monthly specials. Don't miss the Freeze-Dry Guy's February sale. Call 866-404-3663 or visit FreezeDryGuy.com.
A little right, a little left, but always independent-minded. The Genesis Communications Network, GCN.
Okay, we are back on the bright side. Pharmacist Ben here. Thanks for joining us. 844-236-6010 is our number. On our next episode, we'll talk to you a little bit about the story of nitrates and nitrites, how this whole thing became kind of blown out of proportion. The idea that nitrates are really bad for you and you got to stay away from them, not biochemically accurate. And if anybody says that to you, that's a red flag for somebody who's just reading the mainstream medical model and listening to the ideas that are out there in the culture and not really paying attention to the science of what nitrates and nitrates are and how they relate to nitric oxide and how ultimately they relate to good health. Yes, I said good health. Nitrates and nitrites are important for health. I'll tell you about the story of how that all occurred, and then we'll continue talking about ways that you can use, that you can upregulate nitric oxide in your body. And one of the best ways is to make sure you're actually eating nitrates and nitrites. Yes, actually going out of your way to get enough nitrates and nitrites. We'll talk about that on our next Bright Side episode. 844-236-6010 is our number. Time to hit the phones. Quince, what is going on? Quince in Florida. Is this my buddy Quince, my Facebook buddy?
Boy, I tell you what, Ben, you are the #1 health teacher on the radio.
Wow.
We just enjoy your show tremendously, and you explain things so well.
Thank you. I
really appreciate that. I'm calling in because I have a book that I'm reading. I was amazed that you came up with this subject at the same time I got this new book by one of the world's foremost experts on nitric oxide.
No kidding. What's the book?
Nathan Bryan, Ph.D. The title of the book is The Nitric Oxide Solution.
No kidding. I hadn't heard of that book. Is he saying what he's probably saying? He's saying, oh, it's a brand new book. It just came out?
Yes.
Maybe I'll have to get him on the radio program. But he's saying the same things I'm saying, right?
Exactly. And, we heard a presentation by him in Dallas just a couple of weeks ago, and it was just fabulous. He's saying everything you're saying there. And
does he talk about nitrates and nitrites and how it's silly, how you want all that goofiness about staying away from them?
That and much more, but I just wanted to recommend to your listeners, your class, to get this book to help them through this, because there's a lot to it.
Okay, I'm writing this down now. The Nitric Oxide Solution. What's the guy's name?
Nathan S. Bryan, Ph.D.
All right, well, you know what? I'm going to contact that guy. Maybe we'll get him on the air. The Nitric Oxide Solution. It just came out?
Just came out, and
love it.
He's fantastic, but thank you so much, Ben. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate it. And thank you for the kind words. You know what? My listeners tend to be very, very bright, Quince, and that's that's what you're talking about here. When you say I'm a great teacher, it's only because you really want to learn. People want to learn, and it takes a smart person to really want to up their game when it comes to understanding how chemistry works and not to be intimidated. So thank you so much for bringing that up and telling me about the book, Quince. Have a beautiful weekend, buddy. Good to talk to you, man.
You too.
Good to talk to you. All right, I love that. Okay, Ramon in Texas, what's up?
Hello, this is Ramon. I enjoyed your presentation the other night.
Which one? In Austin?
In Austin, yeah.
Oh.
Brand new books.
Awesome, I love that. Did I talk to you? Did I get to meet you? Your name sounds familiar.
Oh yeah, we met a little bit out front, and I introduced you to my brother.
Oh, you were the guy I met when I walked in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome, nice.
The idea of feelings and thoughts being two sides of the same coin, I'll be using that.
Oh, good. I know. People make a distinction there, but they're really not. As soon as you think a thought, you have a feeling, and then you have another thought, another feeling. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah. I have a question for you. I have a client who I was diagnosed with MS in 98, and then she was diagnosed, I think, in 99, but I'm over it, and she's not.
How did you get over it? Well, how'd you get over it?
Oh, man, we'll have to sit down.
Well, no, tell the listeners.
I'll take you out to eat.
I'd love that, but tell the listeners, because there's a bunch of people listening who have that same problem. Just give us a couple of ways that you actually cured yourself of reverse multiple sclerosis. Is that what you said?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, give us a couple ideas. Don't leave us hanging here. I want to hear what you did.
Okay, part of it is all of the things, just like there's causes for diseases. There's many different causes. Everybody they pay trillions of dollars to try to figure out the one cause for cancer, et cetera. No, there's many different causes. For health, it's the same thing. There's many different staffs, foundations, or whatever bricks in the building that you have to put in to recreate disease.
What did you do specifically? Well, I'm going to run out of time. What did you do specifically?
I took some fish oil. That was the first thing that created any kind of a difference in me. I did a lot of breathing. I did a lot of exercise. I did a lot of nutritional products. I did urine therapy. I did I did a lot of different things, and it just took a lot of time and effort and changing my diet all of the stress that I was under, and just all the different things.
And you're symptom free from MS.
I'm symptom free.
That's awesome. That's awesome, bro.
For like 5 years, I've been off of the medications, they call them. They're actually poisons, but anyway.
Well, good deal. That's awesome, Ramon. I hope everybody out there is listening. If you know somebody who has MS, or if you have it yourself, and like you say, Ramon, there's lots of different diseases, but there's not a lot of things you need to do to get healthy. There's all kinds of different ways disease can show up, MS can show up, inflammation can show up, but there's only a few steps that you need to do to get healthy, and I really appreciate you bringing that up, Ramon. Thank you so much. You helped a lot of folks just by bringing that up. How can I help you today?
I have a client who called, and she is septic, and her breath is just horrible. She says she can hear people talking outside of her apartment about what is wrong with that person. Are they dying in there?
Wow. She's got sepsis.
Yeah, so
that means dirty blood. For the listeners, that means dirty blood, and it is the root cause, is the ultimate cause of all disease. Have you heard me say that before, Ramon? It's the ultimate cause of all disease. We talk about inflammation, we talk about lack of oxygen and lack of nutrients, we talk about lack of detox, but at the end of the day, we're talking about thick, clogged, sluggish, dirty blood. In fact, doctors will tell you sepsis is life-threatening. They'll put you in the ICU if you have sepsis, but what they don't tell you is you can be subclinically septic and not bad enough to have to be hospitalized like your friend, but bad enough that you're falling apart and your body is like your friend's neighbors are saying, is that person dying? Yes, she is. I mean, we're all dying, of course, but she's dying at an accelerated rate. So how can I help you, sir? How can I help you? You want some solutions?
What's a good strategy? Because I gave her some of what I thought, but I'd like to hear from you.
Sure. Here's the deal. So sepsis is dirty blood, clogged, sticky, toxic blood. And once the blood gets toxic, all the problems arise. So how does the blood become toxic? That's obviously the question you want to ask if you want to clean the blood. And by the way, kidney disease is a major sign of dirty blood. And I know that's a lot of folks are affected by that. So how do you clean the blood? Well, you got to ask yourself how it gets dirty in the first place. Well, how does anything get into the blood? The blood is the sacred space, as we've said many times. That means it's very protected. Nothing's supposed to get into the blood inappropriately until it's been vetted. And that means it's been assessed as being safe and pure under ordinary circumstances. So how can anything bypass these safeguards? Well, you can inject something directly into your blood, and that's a major cause of sepsis. If you're a heroin addict, or you're injecting poisons, or you're getting vaccines, if you're bypassing the liver by sticking stuff right into the blood, then you can have a problem. Aside from that, you could breathe things in. And again, if you're working in a coal mine or breathing lots of fungus or molds, that can be a problem. But by far and away, the most important way things get into the blood, as you know, Ramon, anybody listening to this program for any length of time, is through the digestive system. And that's the clue to reversing it.
Pharmacist Ben Fuchs believes virtually all disease states can be backtracked to digestive problems.
Deficiencies in stomach acid can affect all downstream systems. Taking digestive enzymes can be amazingly helpful for dealing with deficiencies in stomach acid. Enzymes require low pH for activation. You can also use aloe vera juice, by the way. Sugars in aloe vera have a coating effect on the digestive system. Longevity has a cool product called Noni Plus, which is made from aloe and the noni fruit. It's tasty. It can also function to support digestive acidification of the stomach, and activation of digestive enzymes.
Take pharmacist Ben's advice and support your digestive system by ordering Noni Plus from Longevity. Call 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470, or on the web at brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com. Order today.
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
Improve the curve appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
We really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Genstone. Genstone.
Genstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They've actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looks like stone. I mean, it really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall in minutes.
We love the look of our home now.
And Gemstone is durable, comes with a 25-year warranty, and offers additional R-value for insulation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Gemstone
at 855-955-STONE.
Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866.
Worried about getting sick and feeling terrible for days or even weeks? You need Immudyne for a healthy immune system. Why get sick and bother with products that just don't work? For just $1 a day, Immudyne is all natural and safe for all lifestyles. Call 866-257-8668 to buy now before it's too late, before you get sick. Or go to IMMUDYNE.com, Immudyne.com, or call 866-257-8668.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey Water Filtration Systems. The Berkey Light Systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light System today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
Independently leading the way for the nation. Compelling talk for every political persuasion. We are TCN.
Okay, we are back on the bright side. Pharmacist Ben here, 844-236-6010 is our number. Got some lines open for you. Ramon in Texas. Ramon, you there, my man?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right, so sepsis, dirty blood. It is the root cause of all chronic degenerative disease. All disease is cell disease. All cell disease involves lack of nutrition, lack of oxygen, and lack of detoxification or accumulation of toxins. And all of these things follow dirty blood. Think about it. The blood, the tens of thousands of miles of blood vessels, 50,000 miles of blood vessels. How can that happen? How can you have 50,000 miles of blood vessels in a body? You know, it staggers the mind to think about this. But the reason there's so much circulatory movement and there's such a vast and extensive circulatory highway in the body is because the blood has to contact all of the cells. Can you imagine this? You got 100 trillion cells in your body, and they all have to be in contact with the blood. Over time, as we get toxic, the blood clogs up, and then that's where all the problems arise. This is called sepsis, dirty blood. So what do? Well, if you're not an IV drug user and you're not breathing in, everybody's going to be breathing in a certain amount of toxins, but if you're not breathing in a large amount of toxicity, the chances are really good that your sepsis is related to toxemia, to toxins entering into the blood through the digestive system. Toxemia means basically toxic blood. So the digestive system is the main source of entrance of these poisons. You have an intestinal lining, and that lining is supposed to prevent things from leaking into the blood until they've been processed, foods leaking into the blood until they've been processed. Over time, that wall breaks down. It's called leaky gut syndrome, or some people will call it intestinal permeability syndrome. And what it basically means is stuff is getting into the blood that shouldn't be. What it basically means is food. Literally, particles of food are getting into the holy, sacred, pure space of the blood. This is a horrible thing. And when this happens over and over again, the body creates this, tries to defend itself from these toxins by creating clogs and surrounding the particles of food with protective molecules so the particles of food don't get into cells and don't interfere with things. But over time, that system becomes overloaded. So what do? You work on the digestive system. I know I say it 10 times a day probably, and you're probably sick of hearing it, but you got to do this if you're dealing with a degenerative health disease, a degenerative health crisis. Number 1, fast. Okay, Ramon, have your friend fast if they can. If not, caloric restriction. Use the Swear V. If it's a good friend, buy him some Swear V. Buy him a case of Swear V. It's cheap, and it's a great way to go into a fast. I did one yesterday. I did one Monday. It's a wonderful way to fast through without having to struggle with feeling like you absolutely have to eat. The Swear V's got potassium, and it's got sodium. It gives you energy. It's got probiotics in it. It's formulated by Jordan Rubin, and that's all you really need to know. That guy is not only a brilliant man, but he's a true humanitarian, a true lover of human beings, and a divine being. He's an amazing guy. And he not only formulated the Swear V and the Omicide, but he actually has cattle that he has bred himself to produce a specific kind of milk that's the source of these foods, the Swear V and the Omicide, and the cheese for that matter. So how are we using that? Caloric restriction, fasting, the Swear V, etc. Use digestive enzymes after all meals. Get on the BioLumin Nightly Essence. It's a must-have for all degenerative health crises via this sepsis condition. And then also use apple cider vinegar after all meals. Look for problem foods. Do your food diary, or have her do a food diary where she links foods to bowel movement problems and gas and bloating, etc., and then eliminates those foods. She might also want to work on some other things like stabilizing the blood sugar, making sure she's deep breathing, but nothing should come before working on the digestive system using supplements, caloric restriction, and fasting, and food elimination. All right?
All right. I appreciate it, man.
God bless you. And by the way, Ramon, one more thing I'll tell you. Multiple sclerosis and fasting has been shown to improve multiple sclerosis symptoms for the same reason, and you can go on a WebMD and read all about it. Okay? Or have your friend. Okay, thanks, buddy. Thanks for the kind words. I appreciate it, too. God bless. Okay, let's go. Got a little bit of time to talk to you. 844-236-6010. Steve, what's going on, man?
Oh, hi there. Nice to hear you once again.
Thank
you. We have a friend who tells us about ring in the ear, and they had a test, and the doctor, the person given the test said, it looks like conductive, I guess mechanical problem. And,
it's inflammation.
The doctor said, it's nerve damage.
Yeah, that's okay.
So we were trying to figure out.
I hear that. It's all true, but basically what you're dealing with is inflammation. And inflammation means immunity. And immunity means defense. And defense means offense. You understand? So you got inflammation, and it could be mechanical if she fell or something, but it more than likely is mechanical because there's inflammation. And the doctor's right. There's probably nerve damage because there's inflammation. Inflammation means a defensive response, and if you're logical and rational, which you always have to be when you're working with the body, because the body is eminently logical and rational, you backtrack. Defense means offense. Offense means an offending agent. What is that offending agent? Well, she's not an IV drug user probably, so it's probably not something getting through the skin. She's probably not breathing in an inordinate amount of toxicity. So it's probably not coming in through the mouth. That only leaves one place for an offending agent to get into the body, and at the risk of sounding like a one-trick pony, you're looking at a digestive issue. So link the problems to digestive issues by focusing on all your digestive symptomology: bowel movement problems, constipation, loose stools, bloating, gas, heartburn, nausea, pain, sense of fullness, etc., and then link those up to foods. If she wants to see, just to have some quick relief and to notice the link between the digestive system, the immune system, and ringing in the ears, have her fast for a day or two. If she can fast for 2 days, I guarantee you her tinnitus, her ringing in the ears will decrease, maybe even completely improve. There's wonderful nutritional supplements that she can can use for the digestive system and inflammation. I love zinc picolinate for tinnitus, 50 milligrams a day. Probiotics, the Biolumin Nightly Essence, the B complex. Use the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, which is a wonderful source of the B complex. She can get B12 shots. Sometimes that helps, and as we get older, we don't have enough vitamin B12. Get her on the Healthy Start Pack. She'll get a nice, well-rounded nutritional supplement program that way, and then also throw in the Biolumin Nightly Essence, the Ultimate Enzymes, apple cider vinegar after all meals, and then if she wants to do one more thing, the Fucoidin Z or the Z Radical may be helpful. Thanks so much, Steve. Anything else, buddy?
Okay, no, that was it for today.
Thank you. Say hi to Rosie. Thanks. Say hi to your wife.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Okay, take care. All right, Uncle Jed. We had you on hold here, it looks like, yesterday. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Hey, pretty good. I don't know if I need to review some of this, maybe for the other listeners, but I had called about nitrous oxide, specifically some effects I'd had when I had done some exploration into it, and we had mentioned William James and so forth.
Oh yeah, that's right. Tell me about William. What do you know about William James? I love his work, by the way. The father of psychology.
Yeah. Well, he is one of my very favorite. I was, I did quite a bit. I, for a short time, majored in psychology and found out it was crap. But then when I got out of it and got out on my own, found people like William James and the creator of cognitive behavioral therapy and things
Albert
like
Ellis
that really work.
You're talking about William James?
Well, I'm talking about both of them, but I'm talking about what kind of therapies work and what kind don't. But yeah, his exploration with nitrous oxide was he mostly focused on the emotional, psychological healing benefits. You could say spiritual healing benefits, which is great. Absolutely what I experienced. I heard that still small voice became much less still. Some intense exploration with this, yes, but the answers were instantaneous and obvious, and they would use any means around you because of the pliable nature of our reality.
Well, Uncle Jed, you got some good stuff to say here, my man, and you always call me when I only have one. But hang on, Jed, you always call me when I only have 1 minute to talk to you. So I want you to call in on Monday earlier so we can talk, because you got some good things to say.
Did I call that late again? My God.
Yeah, I'm going to run out of time here. But nitrous, did you inhale it? Did you use the whippets? Those little those.
No, I used medical grade. I had access to medical grade, the tanks,
Jed?
3.5 feet tall tank. And I did it, like I say, very controlled, with no chance of injuring myself, because I had observers and I had safety systems that I developed myself to be sure that nothing simple but effective.
Jed, I'm out of time. Man, you're so fascinating. I totally want to hear what you have to say, and I want the listeners here to hear what you have to say, because you're on the ball, man. You're talking some good stuff here. I hate to say this to you, I'm out of time. Can you call back Monday? Call back earlier?
Yes, certainly. I apologize for calling so late.
No worries.
I lost track.
No worries. Try to call in earlier, or even better, will you send me an email, ben@ksco.com, and put your phone number on there, and then you and I can have a conversation, and then we'll get you on Monday? I'd really appreciate it. You sound like you've got some really, really good stuff to say, Jed. All right.
I'll do that.
I love my smart listeners. All right. That's all the time we have for today. Please check out my blog, pharmacistben.com, and I'd love to have you on the Brightside Ben team as well. 866-735-2470 is the phone number for the Brightside Ben phone team. Tell them you want to join the Brightside Ben team. They can tell you all about it. That's all the time we have for today. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for listening, folks. Have a wonderful, spectacular, beautiful day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
Worried about getting sick and feeling terrible for days or even weeks? You need Immudyne for a healthy immune system. Why get sick and bother with products that just don't work? For just $1 a day, Immudyne is all natural and safe for all lifestyles. Call 866-257-8668 to buy now before it's too late, before you get sick. Or go to IMMUDYNE.com, Immudyne.com, or call 866-257-8668.
If the IRS has garnished your paycheck or seized money from your bank account, you need to get professional tax help now. Fast action is required to put a halt to these aggressive IRS collection tactics. You can count on the knowledgeable team of tax professionals at Wall & Associates. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has settled the tax problems of thousands of taxpayers for a small fraction of what they owed. For a free face-to-face consultation, call 1-800-425-4610 to put a wall between you and the IRS. 1-800-425-4610 or look for us on the web at wallandassociates.net. We solve tax problems. If you hire Wall & Associates today, you'll never have to talk to the IRS again. To stop the levies and seizures today, take action now. Call Wall & Associates at 1-800-425-4610. Wall & Associates. 1-800-425-4610.